The Eisenhower Matrix is widely used by managers to increase their efficiency and productivity. But is it really as good as they say? In today's video, we're going to take a look at what the Eisenhower Matrix is, how it works, but also what the disadvantages are and why it may be outdated and what true high-performance leaders use instead to truly make a difference. So let's get into it. In the past 10 years, we have had thousands of leaders from all over the world achieve high performance through the Global Leadership Excellence Program. And one of the most widely used tools is the Eisenhower Matrix. And this is why I would like to dig into a little bit when it makes sense, how it works, and when it does not make sense, and why it may be outdated, and what you should be using instead. So before we're going to get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell so that you will never miss a video on high performance leadership again. So number one, what is the Eisenhower Matrix? It was developed by Eisenhower, the General Eisenhower, and later he became president. Well, it is said that it was developed by him. Maybe he basically found this matrix and he just made it popular. We don't know, but it's named after him. And the core principle behind it is that we have two different dimensions of work. We have work which is urgent and work which is important, or both urgent and important, or neither nor. Now, if you take a look at your everyday or what is on your desk or your virtual desk, is it more urgent or is it more important work? This would be really interesting to first get an understanding. Maybe you're going to write it down here in the comments. Is it U for urgent or I for important? We're going to use this later. It's a first understanding. Just write you or I in the comments. I'm also going to reveal later what is most on my desk and what high performance leaders actually usually have on their desk more of. So you or I in the comments. But let's continue. With this being said, we have work which is urgent and which is not urgent, and we have work which is important and not important, or tasks. So General Eisenhower always, when he got a task, when there's something on his desk, he was thinking, is it urgent or not urgent? Is it important, not important? And accordingly, he put it into the according quadrant. As simple as that. And now, tasks which were important and urgent, he said, I'll do right away. Because it's all important, urgent, makes sense. Then there were tasks, of course, which were important but not urgent. So he said, I'm going to plan them. So I'm going to schedule them maybe in 3 weeks because they're not urgent. So put some date there. Then there was work, of course, which was not urgent, urgent, but not important. So this he would delegate to others. It needed to be done, but it was not important, so someone else could do it. And then last but not least, not important, not urgent, and this, he said, forget about it, because it's not needed, basically, and it's not urgent. So this being said, it is a tactical approach. It is absolutely excellent to sort and cluster your tasks and maneuver through the day. But we also need to take a look at the disadvantages. Is it really the method which is optimal for nowadays working environment? Now, if we take a closer look at this, we may have work which is important and urgent. For example, in my company, tax declaration is any company, tax declarations, the corporate taxes. Yes, this can become urgent after some time. It is important, so I should do it right away. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not the best person to do the taxes. Maybe there are people who are better in it. But according to Eisenhower, I will be doing this. So I will be struggling doing something which is not according to my strengths, talents, and my best use. So we already understand this can create some issues here. On the other hand, what he would delegate is work which is not important and urgent only. And this may be useful, but it totally ignores the important and urgent work which someone else could be doing better. Then we have work which is important and not urgent. So he keeps on well, postponing it. He puts a schedule, a date, and says, I'm going to do it then. What happens is I become a last minute manager. I'm not really forecasting because I postpone and put these things until they become urgent. So this makes me a last minute high pressure manager. Also not always the optimal approach. And then we have work which is not important, not urgent. For example, I'm talking to my wonderful colleague who asked me about her annual leave. Is it urgent? It's not urgent. For me, it's not urgent. Is it important? It's not important. So I forget about it. What does this tell about me as a leader, as a team leader? I'm totally ignorant then. So also here, this does not make sense. There's not such a thing which I can truly forget about it. Maybe some stuff, but I also need to be aware that what I put here in the quadrant, I can't just neglect. So these are the limitations to the Eisenhower Matrix. What do you think so far? Really interested also in your opinion. Write it in the comments, and we're also going to answer, of course, any questions which you have so far. Now you understand the limitations. As I always say, it's a tactical approach, but you also see we don't develop here. We keep on managing the status quo. But true leaders don't just manage the status quo, they develop something, and for this we need a transformation approach. This takes us to the second part of the video, which is about what we recommend high-performance leaders, or those who want to become high-performance leaders, instead. And even if you're not a team leader or team manager, you may also make use of this three-step approach. Now the three-step approach starts with number 1, an inventory. Now here we again take the concept of urgent and important. This is the only resemblance to the Eisenhower Matrix. So for this we should get an understanding of our daily workload. It is actually built like a pyramid. Most of the work we do is urgent work, and urgent work is the work defined by what others put on us. Deadlines which are set by maybe our supervisor, customers, clients, colleagues, etc. We are not actually free in this, it is put on us. Then we have routine work. And routine work is the work which is actually, it is not urgent, it's not really important, but it needs to be done somehow, maybe some reporting, I need to structure my filing system. And we love routine work because it is easy, it gives us some security, stability. So you may also notice that we move to routine work when we sometimes had some stressful meeting, and then we love routine work. And then the smallest part of this working pyramid is, the smallest part is important work. And important work is defined now what actually helps us grow. It is everything where we make a difference. Now, once more comparison. Urgent work is defined by others, external. Routine work is everything which can actually be done by computers, which is nothing where our creativity, our ability to relate with people, our ability to communicate with people, our ability of strategic thinking is needed. All this, where we humans make the difference, is actually the important work. This is where you develop or develop others. This is where you create your plans, strategy, optimization. This is all happening in the important part. Now, this is the typical pyramid. Now, the optimal pyramid would be, of course, routine work, which should be basically digitalized, just the minimum. Then I have urgent work, I can't avoid it. And most of my time I should invest in important work. Now, just think how your day actually looks like. And here at airports, I so often hear people complaining, I was in meetings all day, but I didn't achieve anything. Ever felt the same? This is because meetings were urgent or maybe routine, but our brain understood this was not important. And when we do important tasks, this is when our brain gives us the feedback, I truly achieved something. This other is not true achievement. Our brain is far smarter than we sometimes allow it to be. So also, if we take a look at burnout, for example, is not because of the actual workload. It is just because we have too much urgent work, too much pressure put from outside on us, and we don't have time for important work or important tasks. This can lead then also to burnout. Now, with this being said, what we need to do is we need to do an inventory at the beginning. We recommend at the Global Leadership Excellence Program our participants to use like 1 week and put next to each to-do a letter I for important work, R for routine work, and then U for urgent work. And then at the end of a week, take a look how much time you spent where. This gives you a first understanding, and then you understand actually how little important work you do. If you want to work with this concept, by the way, we also created some documents for you. It's from the Global Leadership Excellence Program. They're for free. You can download them. The download link is in the description, and also the next 3 steps are also shown there. And it's basically like a small roadmap for you, which you can use then on a daily basis to increase your efficiency. So this being said, what we need to do then is we need to reserve every morning half an hour only for important work. We should not start our day with urgent work, checking emails, pressure from outside, but important work. Sitting down thinking, how can I optimize work processes? What is actually happening? My strategy, maybe my strategy for in half a year to work on marketing. Because if I keep on postponing it, this urgent work, this important work becomes urgent. And then I'm again in high pressure management or last minute management. So half an hour, focus on important work. Then reserve another half an hour around noontime, again for important work. Could be talking to your colleagues, giving feedback on work, thinking about how you can help others grow, developing again strategies. And then at the end of the day, when you actually want to leave office or want to switch off your laptop, again, half an hour important work. I know people say, yes, but I don't have the time. Yes, but this takes us also to the next step of investment thinking, which I'm going to cover soon. But at the beginning, we need to invest. What we see when our members do this, they use then the time there to think on how to optimize and how to decrease routine work, how to decrease urgent work. How to optimize workflows so that the routine work actually is down to 5% as it was before, which frees more time for yourself and for your team. So basically you're investing, you're using the time to optimize, and after 2 months, 3 months, you will have an enormous result, because then you have far more time for yourself and again for important work. So it is basically a self-reinforcing circle. And I also recommend every second week to reserve 4 hours for important work. Can be even with your team. Yeah, we need to optimize the strategy. Let's take a look how we can optimize our workflows. Block these things. Why should we block it? Why should we reserve it in our calendar? The reason is quite simple. We tend to give in to pressure from outside, and we are not very good in taking care of ourselves. And taking care of ourselves also means taking care of optimizing things, taking care of developing maybe ourselves. We're not very good at it. If you take a look at what you postponed in the past weeks, it was usually something which was dear to you. Never postponed what was dear to others already. We are not very good in treating and developing ourselves. This is why you need to block them. Make them holy parts. This is what high performance leaders do. And then really also block them in such a way that you're not disturbed. Okay, now second step is the investment thinking. Investment thinking is basically a routine when a task comes, unlike Eisenhower, who was putting it into this matrix. He was also doing a thinking then. You should do an investment thinking and answering the following 3 questions. Is there someone who could do it faster, better, cheaper? Is there someone who could do this task faster, better, cheaper? For example, I have the tendency to read and proofread my own PowerPoint presentations. Is there someone who's faster? Yes, a colleague, she's very good at it. She's better and she's also cheaper than me. So I should give it to her. And to this, you start optimizing. It's not always necessarily cheaper. Tax consultant, for example. Tax consultant, if she does our corporate taxes, it is more expensive. But it's investment because it frees my time and she's better at it. And in the long run, of course, it will be cheaper because she's better in doing these tax declarations and she may find some things which I would have never thought about because she's an expert. But it does not necessarily mean that we always need to get the cheapest, but we need to understand who would be the best person for this. And this for every task. Then you can actually optimize your workload. And for this, maybe sometimes you need to train someone. We need to train someone. For example, if there would not be this fantastic colleague of mine who is very good in proofreading PowerPoints, I may need to train someone, say what this person needs to look at, how to check the animations, how to maybe do the formatting and what I want. So yes, it's faster if I'm doing it myself. But if I discover that I keep on doing the same task over and over again, which actually someone else could do better, faster, or cheaper, then I should think about investing my time, training someone, and then get things done. And this I could do during the important phases of my work, maybe in the morning, half an hour, or in the afternoon, take this half an hour. So this is the investment thinking. This takes us now to the next step. Now we're going to use a matrix which is not like the Eisenhower Matrix, but it looks a bit similar, but it is totally different because, as I said, the Eisenhower Matrix is about managing the status quo, but we are using now a transformation matrix. And our participants, they just love this matrix. It is just so useful because it totally will transform not only the way you work, not only your job, but also your life. Now, I'm not overpromising. Let's take a look. So the transformation. Yeah, looks familiar, but it's different. We have again 4 quadrants. And here we put every month. We had our inventory, we had our investment thinking, and we then take the tasks which we do, and generally what we're doing on the job, and cluster it by what we want to do and what we don't want to do versus what we're doing and what we're not doing. Let's take the example which I just said about this proofreading PowerPoints. Yeah, I don't want to do it, but somehow I'm doing it, so it will be here. Or I want to set up my colleague for success. I want to train her so that she can do this, but I'm not doing it. Then I have some stuff. For example, this video. I want to do it. And I'm doing these videos. Yeah. We help develop people. I do this conversation with our program participants, and it's only possible that I do them personally because I freed myself of other stuff. So I keep it here. This is what I want to do and I'm doing it. Fantastic. But it is the nature of us that this quadrant and this quadrant will be flooded. And now every month, sit down and take one of these and move them here. So one thing which you don't want to do but you're currently doing, move it here. And move something what you're currently not doing and you want to do up here. I mean, not just by writing, but really using your important time to make this happen. And next month, again, move something down and move something up so that this becomes fuller and this becomes fuller. Now, why leave it here? Well, it is our human nature also that usually after 6 to 8 weeks, what we moved here will fall back. That's why I'm again discovering that I'm proofreading PowerPoints. Although I already have this colleague, although I was working, it basically moved back. So that's why I keep it here. It's very good also for your team and for yourself and your self-esteem to see your achievements, but also to control what may have flipped back. If you do this for half a year, it will change dramatically how you work, and you can use this also on your private life. You can also use this on maybe I want to spend more time with kids. I don't do. I want to read books to my kids. I want to go dancing with my spouse. I'm not doing it. You get the concept. I do this actually with my wife also. Yeah? It's an amazing, powerful tool. But back to the job. I recommend you to do this and also do this with a team and make this your most important development list, because this is a transformation matrix. So this leaves one last question open. Which kind of tasks are more on my desk, urgent or important? Before I'm going to reveal this in a few seconds, I just want to do a quick recap. Eisenhower Matrix makes absolute sense if you want to manage the status quo and get through the day. If you want to truly change something, become a high-performance leader, you should use the 3-steps approach of inventory, investment thinking, and transformation matrix. Don't forget to download the materials which we prepared for you. It's in the description, the link. But now, on my desk, most of the work is important work, because I was able to optimize my work years ago. And so, for example, doing this video, helping you develop, is important to me. I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and also your questions. We answer them all. And maybe you're currently thinking of someone who's dear to you, who could also use this video to lead a more stress-free life and develop something. Then share this video, because true leaders know leading is caring for people. And don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the bell. And I also want to let you quickly know that we have a few slots left in this month for our Global Leadership Excellence program. So if you want to join an amazing community of leaders from all over the world, and if you want us to help you develop a leadership style for true high performance and develop a personal leadership plan, then this may be something for you. So the application link is pinned in the comments. So maybe you're gonna get to know each other then sooner or later in person. And otherwise, don't forget to watch the other videos which help you become a high performance leader. I wish you all the best, and don't forget, leading is caring about people. See you soon.